Terry McLaurin requests trade from the Commanders amid contract impasse, and the Steelers emerge as a possible destination. The saga involving wide receiver Terry McLaurin and the Washington Commanders gained a new explosive chapter this week. According to multiple reports in the American press, including from respected ESPN journalist Adam Schefter, McLaurin formalized a trade request after continued frustration with the lack of progress in negotiations for a new contract. Washington, at least for now, has expressed no interest in trading its offensive star. But, as we know, things can change quickly in the NFL, especially when the talent in question is elite, and other teams are willing to open their coffers and sacrifice precious draft picks. Since arriving in the league in 2019, McLaurin has been the most reliable name in the Commanders' offense. With the exception of his rookie season, he surpassed the 1,000-yard receiving mark every season, cementing his status as one of the NFL's most consistent wide receivers. In 2024, even with a rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels taking over the team, McLaurin showed he had 1,096 receiving yards and 13 touchdowns during the regular season, numbers that reinforced his status as an indispensable part of the roster. But despite his value on the field being unquestionable, his relationship with the franchise has soured. The parties have been unable to reach an agreement on a new contract, and the player has already begun showing resistance in training sessions, further fueling rumors of a possible departure. Trading a star in August. It seems unlikely, but trading a player of McLaurin's caliber so close to the start of the regular season may seem extreme, even irresponsible. But as league history has shown countless times, bold and surprising decisions are not uncommon in August. If Washington does indeed decide to grant the player's request, the return should be significant. The closest comparison at the moment is the recent DK Metcalf trade to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which involved a second-round pick and an additional trade. McLaurin is at a similar if not higher level and would certainly draw fierce competition among teams willing to pay top dollar for a talent ready to produce immediately. And, speaking of Pittsburgh, the Steelers are clearly betting all their eggs in their pockets on 2025. The arrival of Aaron Rodgers at quarterback was a clear sign that the franchise is living in the now, without worrying too much about the distant future. Pairing with DK Metcalf in the same offense would transform this receiving core into one of the most feared duos in the NFL. Rodgers would have two explosive weapons at his disposal, capable of changing the course of any game, and would automatically raise the team's expectations in the Super Bowl race. It's true that this move would require sacrifices, a cleverly structured contract, plus the potential inclusion of young players, like Calvin Austin, 3 in the trade package, could make the deal viable. The price would be high, but for a franchise that's clearly ailing, the investment could be justified. The outcome of this situation is still open to question. Washington could try to calm things down and re-sign its star receiver, but with the player expressing dissatisfaction and the market already speculating on possible destinations, the possibility of a trade becomes increasingly real. Whatever the outcome, Terry McLaurin's name will continue to be in the news in the coming weeks, and the direction he takes could directly impact the NFL's balance of power in 2025. Steelers sign former Minnesota standout to bolster injury-hit defense. Pittsburgh amid a turbulent start to training camp marked by a series of concerning injuries. The Pittsburgh Steelers moved quickly to strengthen their defensive line. The team has signed Kyler Baugh, a former University of Minnesota player. According to Matt Zenitz of CBS Sports, the decision to look for a new defensive lineman came shortly after the team lost 3 defensive linemen in a row: Dean Lowry, Jacob Slade, and Asisi Otomiawale, 2 knee injuries on the first day of the second week of training camp. With the first preseason game approaching, the front office decided to make a move, adding depth to the area. Kyler Baugh isn't a marquee name in the NFL yet, but his track record reveals a resilient and productive player. During his time in Minnesota, he was a key player in the Golden Gophers' defense, appearing in 26 games and accumulating solid statistics: 77 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 4 pass breakups, a forced fumble, and a recovery. Despite not being selected in the NFL draft, Baugh earned a spot on the Atlanta Falcons practice squad last season. Although he didn't play in any official games, his time in the NFL environment was important for his technical and physical development. After that, he also had a stint in the UFL United Football League, defending the St. Louis Battlehawks. In 4 games, he showed consistency, recording 14 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. This additional experience in alternative leagues shows an athlete willing to fight for his spots, something that fits well with the Steelers' culture. Baugh arrives in Pittsburgh to compete for a position in a rebuilding but highly competitive sector. He joins a group that already includes Isaiah Loudermilk, Daniel Ikuali, Daminque Davis, Yeha Black, and Logan Leal, also vying for a spot on the final 53-man roster. With the regular season still a long way off, Baugh's performance in the coming weeks will be crucial. He will have to impress the coaches, not only with his physical ability, but also with his tactical discipline and versatility. The Steelers value players who demonstrate intensity in practice, intelligence in reading the play, and total commitment on the field, qualities that Baugh will have the chance to demonstrate. For Baugh, this is more than just a signing. It's a new opportunity to prove he belongs in the NFL. In a league where every opportunity counts, especially for undrafted players, he will need to turn every training camp rep into a showcase. If he can excel, he could not only secure a spot on the roster but also redefine his professional trajectory. The Steelers, for their part, are banking on raw talent with growth potential, a strategy that has already paid off in the past. As fans, closely monitor the developments of the preseason. One thing is certain, the battle for a starting spot in Pittsburgh's defense has just entered a new and interesting chapter.